no more ATK, it ain't no more. You talking about niggas don't do shit, don't do shit, you tripping.
Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters has directly called out Yungeen Ace after several people were arrested for the passing of Julio Foolio. Police have confirmed Ace's involvement, and the news has spread fast. Many people on social media are saying that Foolio's crew finally caught Ace lacking. This has made the already dangerous Jacksonville rivalry even worse. Ace later went on Instagram Live and said something that likely made Foolio's people very angry. He said, "There is no such thing as ATK anymore. That is finished and over with." He also spoke about how people always talk but do not take action when it is time to spend money on legal fees. He seemed frustrated with people who speak a lot but do nothing when it really matters. At the same time, DJ Academics had already predicted that things were going to get worse. He had been following the situation closely, keeping an eye on the ongoing tensions between the rival crews. During a conversation with Ace, Academics brought up something that immediately caught his attention. "WAC 100 recently spoke about you," Academics said. "He says you're next." Ace's face changed instantly. He was not happy about what he had just heard. His tone became serious as he looked straight at Academics. "Why would you say that? Why would you wish that on me?" Ace shot back, clearly frustrated. Academics quickly tried to explain himself. He did not mean it as a threat or a wish for anything bad to happen. He was simply pointing out a harsh reality that had played out many times before. "I am not wishing anything bad on you, bro," Academics said. "I am just saying, in the streets, when one high-profile person is gone, the attention moves to the next one." Ace sat back, shaking his head. He knew exactly what Academics meant, but that did not mean he wanted to hear it. In the streets, everything worked like a cycle. When one person fell, the pressure would land on the next person in line. It was a dangerous pattern, one that had already played out too many times before. This was the reality of the life they were living. Fame and success did not protect you when you had enemies. In fact, sometimes it made you an even bigger target. Foolio's passing had only added more fuel to the fire. Everyone was watching what would happen next. Ace knew that people were expecting retaliation. Some were already predicting the next move before it even happened. The streets were waiting for something to go down, and it felt like everyone was just adding pressure to the situation. Academics continued, "Look, man, I have seen this play out too many times. When one high-profile rapper goes, the streets do not just calm down. It keeps going. Right now, a lot of eyes are on you. People are talking. I just want you to be aware of it." Ace took a deep breath. He had been in this life for a long time, but that did not mean he was not tired of it. He had already lost too many people. Every time things seemed like they might settle down, something happened to bring the war right back to the surface. He leaned forward and said, "I hear you, but I am not worried about none of that. I move smart, I do not play reckless, and I do not let the internet tell me what my next move should be." Academics nodded. He was not trying to stir anything up, but he also knew how these situations worked. Foolio had been confident too. He had moved the way he thought was best, but that did not stop what happened to him. Ace was determined to make sure he did not meet the same fate. But in the streets, sometimes it did not matter how smart you moved. If people wanted you gone, they would look for any chance to make it happen. Over the next few days, rumors started spreading even more. People online began debating whether Ace was really safe or if he needed to lay low. Some said he should leave the city for a while. Others believed he was ready for whatever was coming. Meanwhile, WAC 100's words kept echoing in the background. The warning had already been put out. Whether Ace wanted to believe it or not, people were watching, and some of them were waiting for the next move. The question was, would Ace be able to avoid what many thought was coming? Or was he truly next? Just like WAC 100 had said? Ace made it clear that he was not afraid. "I have lived my whole life making sure nobody gets up on me. I will not let that happen," he said. But now that Foolio is gone, many people are asking if the beef is really over. Academics also spoke about a past incident when Ace was attacked while leaving a restaurant. That was the same night his brother lost his life. Ace has been targeted many times, but now it is not just his enemies coming for him. The police are also after him. Reports say that the 5 people arrested for Foolio's passing, Alicia, Isaiah, Sean, Rashad, and Devon, were hired hitmen. Police believe Ace was behind the plan, and that is why they have been shutting down his concerts and making it harder for him to earn money.
Police and I don't know how they be doing it, but they always...
The police believe Ace was involved for a clear reason. A video leaked online where a Jacksonville rapper admitted that he went after Julio Foolio because Ace put $10,000 on his head. He said in the video, "On everything I love, bro, on my homies, on my soul, on my kids. I am the one who got Foolio that night at his birthday party. I will not show my face or give away my identity, but you know I did that. There was money on his head. I rock with Ace and his people. I be in Jacksonville a lot. If you know, you know." He continued, "Ace put that $10,000 up and told me to go handle it. He was tired of Foolio talking all the time, playing games. So what had to be done, had to be done. I took care of it. That is just how it is." As the police kept looking into the case, they found more proof linking Ace to the plan. Reports confirmed that Julio Foolio, born on June 21, 1998, was attacked by rival street members early Sunday morning in Tampa. What was supposed to be a fun weekend for his birthday turned into something terrible. Social media played a big part in what happened. Foolio and his people had rented an Airbnb for the weekend. As soon as they arrived, Foolio posted on his Instagram story, telling everyone to come to a pool party. "Hey, the pool party starts today at 5 or 6. If you already got the address, pull up. If you need it, DM me right now," he wrote. In another clip, he said excitedly, "We just got here, bro. You got the address? Pull up at 5:30. We're about to get everything ready. It is up." The party inside the Airbnb only lasted for 2 hours. Foolio shared videos of himself drinking with 5 women who were laughing and having fun. But what started as a night of celebration ended in the worst way possible. Foolio was laughing and enjoying himself, but at the same time, his enemies were watching and making plans. This was his first big mistake. He showed millions of followers, including his enemies, his every move. By doing this, he made it clear that if anything happened, he would not be fully ready. About an hour later, the police arrived at the Airbnb. They called the landlord, who decided to remove Foolio and his crew from the house. But instead of staying quiet, Foolio went right back to Instagram and posted his next move for everyone to see. This time, he shared a flyer for a club event, telling people to come. The problem was that the poster clearly showed the club's address. Once again, he gave his enemies another chance to find him. It was like he was setting a record for revealing his location the most times in one weekend. When he arrived at the club, he made another Instagram post, showing exactly where he was sitting. He was in the upstairs lounge. Without knowing it, he was making things easy for anyone looking for him.
The pool party start today at 5, 6 o'clock. If you already got the address, pull up, man. You got the address, pull up.
This gave Foolio's enemies plenty of time to come together, make a plan, and find out exactly where he was. But the date they chose to take action was not random. The 23rd of the month was very important to them. More on that later. When Foolio and his crew left the club, they gathered in the parking lot while his manager searched for a place to stay. After looking around, he found a Holiday Inn just down the street. They decided to go there. When they arrived, everything was quiet. But that silence did not last long. Suddenly, several cars filled with rival street members pulled up. Their main goal was to find Foolio. Once they did, you can guess what happened next. This was not just a random attack. It was clear retaliation, and the date made it even more personal. The 23rd of the month was the same day Foolio had once released his song When I See You, where he mocked Ace for losing his brothers. In the lyrics, Foolio rapped, "Went out to eat on his birthday, 4 hit. 3 passed in the worst way. He kept dissing on me, now we hitting 23. Now, on that same date, his birthday, his enemies struck back. They hit 4 people, just like Foolio had once rapped about. Later, Ace responded in his own song with a line that repeated Foolio's words in reverse, 4 in the car and one of them gone, 3 got hit. This was not just a response. It was a message. 6 hours after the attack, Ace dropped a song called Do It, a direct diss aimed at Foolio after his passing. To make things even clearer, Ace's right-hand man posted an old tweet from King Von that read, "Game over. We won, stupid." But the story took an unexpected turn. Just 1 month before his passing, Foolio had spoken in an interview about the ongoing beef in Jacksonville. He revealed that both sides were actually planning to make a song together to stop the violence. You all probably do not know this, but even though I said what I said about Bro, me and Jay Breezy were supposed to do a Stop the Violence song. We were going to make it happen for the kids, for the youth. We had to make this look better. The interviewer asked, "So you and Jay Breezy were working on a song to stop the violence?" Foolio replied, "Yes, that was the plan. My big cousin even wrote about it." A song that was meant to bring peace never got the chance to be made. Instead, the violence only got worse. Foolio had agreed to do the Stop the Violence song, but there was one problem: they were still trying to find the right beat. Many people now believe that if this had happened sooner, the situation could have been avoided. However, not everyone sees it that way. Some people in the industry had strong opinions about Foolio's passing. Charleston White reacted by saying, "People keep asking me what I think about this. Well, all I am going to say is this: when you live a certain way, this is how it ends." Did he bring this on himself? Yes, he did. Nobody should feel sad about what happened to Foolio. He talked like a gangster, he lived like a gangster, and he lost his life like one. One thing I know for sure, he is not in heaven. Charleston continued, "That boy had all the time in the world to change, but instead, he kept rapping at people's graves, making their mothers cry. Now, some people are relieved, wiping their foreheads, saying, 'Thank you, Lord.' And others are crying, saying they are going to miss him." According to Charleston, Foolio's fate was sealed the moment Ace's best friend, ATK Mitch, lost his life in April 2022. That same year, officers pulled Foolio over while he was driving a Dodge Durango with illegal window tint. At first, it seemed like a regular traffic stop. But things changed when a prosecutor unexpectedly arrived at the scene. The prosecutor told officers to search Foolio's car, even though it was not legal. After finding out who he was, the officers arrested him and put him in the back of a patrol car. That is when they started questioning him about Mitch's passing. "All right, look, I know you will not like this, but I need to ask you about Mitch," an officer said. Foolio sighed, clearly frustrated. "How long is this going to take?" "Not long. That depends on you," the officer replied. "We just need to know what you know about what happened." Later, Foolio was taken into an interrogation room. The officers wanted to see if he would slip up and say something about Mitch's passing. Sitting across from them, Foolio stayed calm. When they asked him about his career, he simply said, "I am an artist." But the real question remained, what did he know about Mitch's passing? And was this moment connected to everything that would happen later? When detectives questioned Foolio about Mitch's passing, he stayed calm and did not give them much. "No, I was in Miami when I heard the news," he said. "I was down there making music, and then I saw it on Instagram. Everybody in Jacksonville was talking about it." The detectives wanted to know more. They started asking about his connection to Mitch and where he was when everything happened. One of the detectives leaned in. "All right, the reason I am here is that I am the lead on your friend's case. You had a friend who was recently, you know." Foolio raised an eyebrow. "I got a lot of friends who recently." He paused for a moment. The detective continued, "Yeah, so I am leading the case on that. I do not know how close you two were, so can you give me a rundown? When did you meet? How long have you been close?" The officers did not have anything solid on Foolio, but they knew he was connected to Mitch. They hoped he would slip up and give them something useful. "Guys, if you know anything, even the smallest detail could help," the detective pushed. "If you know his mother, you could call her. I am sure she would want answers too." Foolio shook his head. "That was my little brother, but I do not know anything. I do not know who did it. I was in Miami at the time. That is what I am saying. You will never know what really happened." "I do not know, I just heard about it." The detectives were getting frustrated. Foolio was not giving them anything. So, They changed the topic. Do you think your music has anything to do with the crime around you? One of them asked. The way you rap, the way you carry yourself, do you think that played a part in all of this? Foolio did not hesitate. No. Even before I started rapping, things were like this. You cannot just blame my music for what happened. The detective pushed further. But do you think it influenced someone? Maybe triggered something? The way you and your enemies go back and forth in songs. Foolio stayed firm. No. A song cannot make someone do anything. Some people believed he was lying and hiding something from the police. Others saw it differently. They believed his passing was a direct retaliation for what happened to ATK Mitch.